The Shower Posse. Origins, Rise, and Impact. Origins and Early History. Welcome to this channel. The information you will hear has been researched using over 30 sources and represents the best overview of the Shower Posse. A few sources can be found in the description section of this video. Remember to subscribe. The Shower Posse emerged in Jamaica during the political turmoil of the 1970s and 1980s. Gangs in Jamaica during this period were often aligned with political parties, notably the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, and the People's National Party, PNP, which used them as enforcers. The term posse came to represent these organized groups of armed men, many of whom became enforcers for the political elite. The violence of the era, particularly in the 1980 general election, led to over 800 deaths in politically fueled clashes. It was amidst this backdrop of political violence that the Shower Posse was born in Kingston, Jamaica, around 1981. The name Shower Posse is believed to have originated from a combination of the JLP's slogan, "Shower the people with benefits," and the posse's method of using violence, metaphorically showering their enemies with bullets. The gang initially gained power through its political ties and quickly evolved from a political enforcer group into a full-fledged criminal organization. Under the leadership of Lester Jim Brown Coke, the Shower Posse became notorious for its ruthlessness and its deep involvement in Jamaica's drug trade, particularly cocaine. The rise of a drug empire. During the early 1980s, the U.S. government cracked down on marijuana cultivation in Jamaica, and the island became a key transit point for cocaine coming from South America. Coke, seeing an opportunity, began to build an international drug trafficking operation, importing cocaine to the United States. By the mid-1980s, the Shower Posse expanded its network beyond Jamaica, establishing cells in major cities across the U.S., including New York, Miami, and Los Angeles. As the U.S. crack cocaine epidemic surged, Jamaican gangs, including the Shower Posse, became major players in distributing the drug. They were known for their violence and discipline, controlling the crack trade in many urban centers. In addition to drug trafficking, the Shower Posse engaged in various illegal activities, including money laundering, arms trafficking, and violent crimes. By the late 1980s, it was estimated that the gang was responsible for over 1,000 murders across the United States, making them one of the most feared and influential criminal organizations of that time. Key figures in leadership. The Shower Posse's success was driven by several key individuals, with Lester Jim Brown Coke at the helm. Coke's role as the leader of the gang allowed him to control both the criminal and political domains of West Kingston. His trusted lieutenant, Vivian Blake, played a pivotal role in the international expansion of the gang, particularly in the U.S. and Canada. Blake managed the gang's operations in the United States, while Coke retained his power in Jamaica. In the U.S., the Shower Posse operated through local affiliates, leveraging the Jamaican diaspora to facilitate the distribution of drugs and weapons. Despite their violent nature, they were also seen by some members of the Jamaican community as protectors, providing security and services in impoverished neighborhoods. This duality of power helped shield the gang from law enforcement and ensured its continued control over territories in Jamaica and abroad. The FBI's pursuit and law enforcement crackdown. The U.S. government began to take notice of the Shower Posse's growing influence in the 1980s. Federal law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, DEA, and ATF, initiated a series of investigations targeting the gang. The use of wiretaps, undercover agents, and informants eventually led to a massive crackdown in 1988, when a grand jury handed down RICO indictments against 34 members of the Shower Posse. These included charges of racketeering, drug trafficking, and murder. Despite the charges, Lester Coke remained a problematic target for law enforcement. In 1990, with mounting pressure from the U.S., Jamaican authorities finally arrested Coke, but he was killed in a suspicious prison fire in 1992 while awaiting extradition. His death was seen by many as a convenient end to a man who was about to face serious charges in the U.S. The death of Coke, however, did not signal the end of the Shower Posse. Instead, his son, Christopher Dudus Coke, took control of the gang and continued its operations. Christopher Dudus Coke's reign and final capture. Under the leadership of Christopher Coke, the Shower Posse continued to dominate the drug trade in both Jamaica and the U.S. Coke's leadership was marked by his deep entrenchment in local politics and his ability to operate with relative impunity in Jamaica. By the 2000s, he had become one of the most influential and feared drug lords in the world, controlling significant portions of the cocaine trade into the U.S. Coke's connections with Jamaican politicians and his ability to provide patronage to his community made him a difficult target for authorities. However, by 2009, the U.S. had escalated its efforts to have him extradited to face drug trafficking charges in New York. Initially, the Jamaican government resisted his extradition, but after significant public outcry, the government moved to arrest him. In May 2010, Jamaican forces launched an operation to capture Coke, which led to the infamous Tivoli Gardens incursion. Armed with heavy weapons, Coke's followers fought back fiercely, resulting in intense street battles that left dozens dead. Despite the chaos, the authorities eventually captured Coke and extradited him to the U.S. in June 2010. In the U.S., he faced charges of drug trafficking, racketeering, and conspiracy. And in 2012, he pleaded guilty to these charges. He was sentenced to 23 years in prison. The end of an era. The capture and conviction of Christopher Coke marked the effective end of the Shower Posse's reign. However, the gang's impact is still felt today. Their influence on the crack cocaine epidemic, the spread of violence, and the connection between political and criminal organizations in Jamaica left a lasting legacy. The gang's role in the international drug trade exposed the vulnerabilities in global law enforcement and highlighted the complex relationships between crime and politics. Though the Shower Posse's leadership has been dismantled, remnants of their influence persist in Jamaican and North American street gangs. Their story is a reminder of how organized crime can thrive in environments of political instability and economic hardship, leaving a trail of destruction that law enforcement continues to combat today.